EU regulators fine Google €1.49 billion for blocking advertising rivals.
Here's a summary of the article.
Brussels – EU antitrust regulators handed down a €1.49 billion fine to Alphabet unit Google on Wednesday for blocking rival online search advertisers, marking the company's third penalty in 2 years. Last year, the EU competition enforcer imposed a record €4.34 billion fine on Google for using its popular Android mobile operating system to block rivals. This followed a €2.42 billion fine in 2017 for hindering rivals of shopping comparison websites.
This post received a score of 18,397, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Just wondering, do these fines actually get paid, or do they linger for 10 years in court battles back and forth until deemed obsolete or reduced?
As far as I know, Google paid the last fines, which were about €4 billion and €2 billion. However, they made that money back in 1 quarter.
An entire quarter's profit is still a great deal of money.
It depends if the changes would have cost them more to implement. If it's worth the fine to keep the other 3 quarters' profits, then the fine hasn't worked.
They still have to fix the actual violation or get increasingly higher fines.
Tell that to FB, WhatsApp.
The laws the European Union hit Google with are still relatively new. Expect those fines to increase if things aren't fixed.
They pay more fines than taxes already.
That's a fine point.
Genuine question, where does this money go? Does it just get redistributed throughout the EU budget?
It gets poured into EU projects. For example, it is used to help fund restoration and maintenance of historical sites, put together new cultural projects, etc.
Plus infrastructure, agriculture.
I read that as bonus to infrastructure and agriculture tooltip. I might have played too many 4/10 games.
Well, you're not wrong. If done correctly, a membership in EU should result in a bonus to infrastructure and agriculture.
Circle jerking aside, can anyone ELI5 what Google did?
Google used their dominance as a search provider to make websites use Google for advertising rather than a competitor. This is breach of competition law in the EU, and so they imposed a fine.
How did Google make websites do this? Say, we will lower your search result ranking if you use a different advertiser, which is the same as, use our advertisement branch and our search branch will give your site priority, similar to how car dealerships in the US do this if you use them to finance your car, etc.
This article explains as better than I can.
Google licenses their search engine out to third-party sites and allow embedded search functionality. Naturally, this wouldn't normally be free. Why would Google be so magnanimous as to offer free site features to everyone when it has to pay a pretty penny in engineering cost? But in lieu of payment, they gave this feature away for free, provided you bundled the search results with Google Ads. So instead of the current method, Google may instead charge sites per query to have a search feature, and pay sites to display Google Ads as a separate transaction. If the cost of the search equals the price of the ads, isn't this effectively the same thing? This doesn't seem anti-competitive to me, for the most part, maybe a little bit in stipulating the search results page must exclusively show Google Ads, but post-2009 not at all, and even.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.